They say love finds you when you least expect it. I didn't know that one smile at a wedding would change my life forever. The sun was hot that Saturday afternoon in Lagos, but I still wore my best dress. My friend Gozi was getting married, and I didn't want to miss it. The church was full of people, music, and dancing. I smiled and clapped as the couple said their vows. After the wedding, we moved to the reception. That was when I saw him. He was tall, with calm eyes and a shy smile. He wasn't loud like the other men, but something about him pulled me in. His name was Chukwemeka. He was a taxi driver. We talked for hours that evening, about life, dreams, and family. He made me laugh. He made me feel safe. I was working as an admin officer in a school then. Life was simple, but I was happy. After that day, Chukwemeka started calling me every night. His voice made my heart soft. He didn't have much, but he had love. Real love. A few months later, he asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes. But not everyone was happy. My mother frowned the first time she heard about him. A taxi driver. Is that who you want to suffer with? She asked. He's not rich. He can't give you the life you deserve. I told her I didn't care about money. I cared about love. But she didn't stop. She said his quiet nature was suspicious. She said he was hiding something. I laughed it off, but deep inside, I started to wonder. Was she right? I pushed the thought away. Chukwemeka loved me. I was sure of it. Still, a small seed of doubt had been planted, and my mother was watering it, slowly. I didn't know it yet, but that was the beginning of the end. After just a few months of dating, Chukwemeka asked me to marry him. He didn't have much, just his taxi job, a clean heart, and a gentle spirit. I loved him. I said yes. We had a small church wedding. My mother refused to come. She said, I don't support that marriage. You'll come back crying. Her words hurt, but I didn't let them stop me. I wanted to start a new life with Chukwemeka. At first, our home was filled with peace. He was loving, caring. Every evening, he came home tired but smiling. I cooked, he washed the dishes, and we talked about everything. But then, my mother started calling every day. At first, it was just normal questions. How are you? How's your husband? But slowly, her words started to change. Why is he always so quiet? She asked one night. Men like that are dangerous. I laughed. Mama, he's just gentle. She didn't laugh. Be careful. He's hiding something. Another time she said, has he ever bought you anything since the wedding? He's saving, I replied. We are managing. My mother sighed. You call that managing? You're suffering, my daughter. You just don't know it yet. Her words followed me everywhere, like shadows in the room. One night, Chukwemeka came home late. I opened the door but didn't smile. Where were you? I asked quickly. He looked confused. I had to drop a passenger far. I'm sorry. I nodded, but my heart was loud. I didn't trust him even though he had done nothing wrong. That night, while he slept, I checked his phone. I didn't find anything. But my heart still didn't rest. The whisper in my head, my mother's voice, had become louder. And little by little, I was changing. 2 months after our wedding, my mother came to our house without calling. I was shocked when I opened the door. She stood there with a plastic bag in her hand and a straight face. No smile. No hug. Just, are you not going to let me in? Chukwemeka came from the bedroom and greeted her politely. Good evening, Mama. You're welcome. She looked him up and down and nodded. I see. She didn't sit down right away. Instead, she started walking around the house slowly, looking at everything, the small plastic chairs, our old TV, the second-hand curtains. "So this is how my daughter is living now," she said quietly, but loud enough for us to hear. I felt small. Embarrassed. She walked into the kitchen and started moving things. "Who arranged this kitchen? The pots are in the wrong place. The spoons are scattered. This place looks like a boy's room, not a married woman's house." I stood beside her, unsure what to say. I had arranged that kitchen with love. That evening, Chukwemeka made simple yam porridge for dinner. He served all of us and sat quietly. My mother looked at the food and pushed the plate away. "I don't eat this kind of food at night," she said. "And the salt is too much." After dinner, she called me into the bedroom and sat me down. "Let me tell you something," she said in a low voice. "This boy is not your level. You married down. That's why you're suffering like this." "Mama, we are okay." "No, you're not. You just don't see it yet. But one day, you'll thank me." That night, I lay beside Chukwemeka, but my mind was far away. My mother had planted something in my heart, a seed of doubt. And it was already starting to grow. After my mother's visit, something inside me started to change. I didn't laugh as much. I didn't smile the way I used to. When Chukwemeka talked, I only heard half of what he said. My body was there, but my mind was not. He noticed. One evening, he held my hand and said, "You've been quiet lately. Is something wrong?" I pulled my hand away gently. "I'm just tired," I said. But I wasn't just tired. I was confused. My mother's voice kept playing in my head. "You married down. You'll thank me one day. He's not your level." Each word echoed like a drum. Chukwemeka didn't stop loving me. He still brought home small gifts, sometimes a bottle of groundnut, sometimes oranges. He still cleaned the bathroom when I was tired. He still prayed with me every night. But my heart was no longer soft toward him. I started seeing everything as not enough. His taxi job. Too small. Our rented apartment. Too tight. Even the way he walked began to annoy me. And my mother kept calling. Every day. "Has he bought you new clothes? Did he fix the kitchen tap? You're too fine to be living like this." I began to complain more at home. "Why is there no light again? Why don't you find another job? Why can't you be more ambitious?" He looked at me with sad eyes. "I'm doing my best, Ada. Can't you see that?" But I didn't answer. I looked away. I started staying longer at work just to avoid coming home early. And when I got back, I would lie and say I had a meeting or was too tired to talk. I didn't realize it then, but I was slowly pushing Chukwemeka away. And the worst part, he still loved me, even as I was breaking his heart. One evening, I came home from work feeling angry. The rain had soaked me, and the taxi I entered splashed mud on my dress. As I stepped into the house, the light was off, and the room was dark. No food. No sound. Just silence. I threw my bag on the chair. "Is this how a husband behaves?" I shouted. "You can't even boil water for your wife?" Chukwemeka walked out from the bedroom slowly. His eyes were tired. "I'm sorry," he said. "I wasn't feeling too strong today." I ignored him and went to the kitchen. As I searched for matches, my hand touched something, a small envelope hidden between the salt container and a cup. It had my name on it. I paused. My heart beat fast. I opened the envelope with shaking hands. It was a letter. "My dear Ada, I know things have not been easy between us. I feel the distance. I see the pain in your eyes, and it breaks me. I lost my job yesterday. The company is closing because the owner ran away with money. I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to worry. I am looking for another job, anything to support us. Please don't give up on me. I love you, and I'm sorry if I've failed you. Chukwemeka. I froze. Tears filled my eyes, but I wiped them quickly. I didn't want him to see. I walked out of the kitchen and looked at him. He was sitting quietly on the floor, fixing an old fan with bare hands. And for the first time in months, I saw him. I saw the man I once loved. Tired. Fighting. Still trying. But before I could say anything, my phone rang. It was my mother. I picked up. Ada, listen carefully, she said. I don't want you to sleep in that house tonight. I blinked. What? There's something I found out about your husband, she said. And you won't like it. I stood in the kitchen, holding the phone to my ear. My hands were shaking. What do you mean, Mama? I asked. What did you find out? She lowered her voice, like she didn't want anyone around her to hear. I heard from someone in your father's village, she said. They said Chukwemeka has another woman. My heart dropped. That's not true, I whispered, but even I didn't sound sure. She continued, why do you think he's always quiet? Why do you think he hides things from you? That letter you found. It's just a trick. So you pity him. I wanted to argue, but the seed of doubt had already been planted again. You need to leave that house tonight, she said. Come and sleep here. Just for one night. I didn't answer. I ended the call and went to the bedroom. Chukwemeka was lying down, his back to me. My eyes scanned the room like I had never seen it before. The drawer. The wardrobe. The shoes. I found myself thinking, could there really be another woman? I slowly opened his drawer. Inside were papers, socks, a small Bible, and a photo. It was an old picture of him and a woman at a park. They were laughing. I stared at it for a long time. Just then, he turned around and saw me. What are you doing? He asked. I quickly dropped the photo. Who is she? I asked, my voice sharp. He looked confused for a moment, then said softly, that's my cousin, Ngozi. She's married now. Why are you searching my things? I didn't believe him. Everything felt like a lie. The silence. The letter. The job loss. And the worst part. I didn't know what to believe anymore. I turned away and started packing a bag. I'm going to my mother's, I said. He sat up quickly. Ada, wait. Don't let her. But I didn't listen. I walked out of the house, and into more trouble than I could imagine. It had been 2 years since I left Chukwemeka. 2 long, painful years. At first, I believed I had done the right thing. I thought I was strong. I thought I was free. But deep inside, I was empty. My mother's house felt more like a prison than a home. She controlled everything, what I wore, where I went, who I spoke to. She told me I should be grateful. But I wasn't happy. I was just surviving. One evening, I was scrolling through Facebook when I saw something that made my heart stop. It was a photo. Chukwemeka. Standing in front of a large building in Canada. Dressed in a suit. Smiling. The caption said, grateful to God for my new job. Starting a new life in Canada. I dropped my phone. Tears filled my eyes. I couldn't breathe. I found out later that he had gotten a job with an international company. He applied for a visa and moved to Canada. Everything had changed for him. He was now successful and happy. But the worst part. A few weeks later, I saw another post. He got married. To a beautiful woman. She looked kind, soft, and peaceful. Just like he used to say I was, before I changed. I broke down crying. I remembered his love. His letter. His small cake for our 6-month anniversary. His tired hands bringing food home for me. And I remembered how I threw it all away. I listened to lies. I let my mother destroy what I had. Now, I was the one left behind. And Chokomika. He moved on. He found peace. And I was left with nothing but memories and regrets. This was the goodbye that truly broke me,